Yeah, well, that really comes from my elders leading by example, starting with my grandparents. So my grandparents have always been involved in the community, even my great grandparents, which I was old. I guess I was around to be able to see them and see how they move around the landscape and how they are with other people. My great great grandparents are from Superior. Well, I should say they moved to Superior, so we've been here for over 100 years, and especially my grandfather, my Tata Nolbert, and my Nana Armida, the two of them were really powerhouses when it came to community support. So my Tata was in the mine and he lost his pinky due to a mining accident, and so he was able to leave the mine and he became the milkman. And so back in those days, the milkman was doing the what you would expect at those times, right? He was going door to door, replacing the dairy products and going into people's houses to do that. So the amount of trust and integrity that was there is pretty obvious. And then there would be people would fall on hard times, especially when the mine closed. It used to employ 80% of the working male population. And when the mine shut down, people, or when they were going on strike, even before that, people just their funds dried up, and so my tata would just give people the food that they needed to be able to feed their family, whether they could or couldn't afford to pay them. So things like that, and then projects like there was one that was called Project Happy Face. That's where I got initiated into being a community helper. Was especially during those special times like Thanksgiving, like in Christmas time, when people are thinking about getting together with their family. When they don't have food, that's a whole different kind of way of being together. So our community would get together, fill up a bunch of bags of food, and deliver them to family members. And that actually spun out into becoming what's now the Superior Food Bank. But it was started by a bunch of caring women who all decided they were going to do this, my Nana being one of them. And she roped my Tata and myself into that and did that with all her kids. My father was the president of the Chamber of Commerce. He's been the Parks and Recs director. He's in a bunch of different roles like that, as well as my mother as well. She's been on the board for our local botanical garden, also with the Chamber of Commerce. So there's just a lot of that going on. But when you say career choice, it's really funny because I'm really working on for the people that live here, uh, helping your neighborhood being a viable career path. Right now, it's not. I mean, I was just looking at a friend of ours, Anna, who is in the collaborative, posted on Facebook saying, "Hey, I'm thinking about doing a GoFundMe because he just explained all the financial challenges he's having, and here's someone who's dedicated to helping his neighborhood be a better place." And so, a lot of us, I put myself in this camp, like, we're living paycheck to paycheck, and it's and if you don't have a paycheck, well, what does that mean? So that's a challenge that we're hoping to come across. Like right now, I don't, or that we're hoping to get across. Right now, I don't get paid for the work that I'm doing, and like the savings account runs dry, and I think about my family and what I'm doing to support them. And it's like long term, you can see why it is that I'm doing what I'm doing. In the short term, it's like, well, we got bills to pay. And so that's
Mm-hmm.
an ongoing project at the moment. And there's some light at the end of the tunnel. We have a number of our contributors in the nonprofit getting paid now. And so we're on our way. But yeah, career choice. I'd like to see that it is a career choice, but I'd like to see that it's an easier one for people to make with less sacrifice and less risk in the future.